This segment is sponsored by Strategic Wealth Designers. Most people plan for retirement the wrong way, but it's not their fault. So here to break down the basics of retirement planning the way it should have been explained all along is Thomas Riley, a senior financial advisor at Strategic Wealth Designers. Hey, Thomas, welcome back to Great Day, Washington.
Thank you so much for having me.
Of course. All right, we've been taught the wrong way. So how should people be thinking about retirement if they're planning it in the next, say, 10 years?
Yeah, the big thing I think is retirement planning can be scary and kind of, not knowing exactly what will happen in the future, but sitting down and having a plan is an important thing. Warren Buffett has a quote around it, and he says, "An idiot with a plan can be a genius without a plan."
Yeah.
So, it's not rocket science, but if you can sit down and make a plan and have steps where you work towards that, more than likely you're going to have a successful retirement.
Good point. Plans are always good.
Yes.
Now, why does it seem like we are always saving, yet it's just not enough?
Yeah, I think the big thing is, you never know what the future will hold as far as expenses go, and especially when you're paying for utilities, expenses, other groceries that pop up. And so I think a lot of things on what you have to do is kind of look at, what your goals are in the future, and are you saving enough to hit those goals? So going back to the planning side, you do have to do some planning around it, but I think you can kind of get an idea of what you want to do in the future. And then you kind of get an idea of how much you want to save as well.
That makes sense. Don't just save willy-nilly, have the plan.
Have the plan around it.
Now, what do you say to families who, we want to live and enjoy our lives right now, and that might be a little expensive, but we're also planning for the future?
Yeah, so, I have 3 kids myself, and being grateful for every single day that I wake up and enjoy them. But I think, again, looking at it is retirement can be scary. The number one thing that stops when you go into retirement is your income. So you got to think about ways how you're going to be able to have that income come back, whether or not that's a pension, Social Security, or those investments that you save over time. So sit down and you can have a conversation with your spouse, a financial professional, and lots of times that can take off some of the stress and ease that burden there too.
That's a good point. You mentioned kids. I have kids too. So then
Yes.
we're also not just retirement, it's college, a lot to consider. That's where this planning is so important.
Very, very important.
What
yes.
is one small step that people can do just sort of right now to get that plan in action?
Yeah, the biggest thing I would say is get educated. If you're unsure, just take one step. I teach a class at George Mason in Georgetown, Retirement Planning University, where we dive into 2 nights of retirement planning. So being educated can give you a lot of power and make you feel a lot more better about, what the unknown future holds there.
Yeah, knowledge is power.
Knowledge is power. That's right.
Awesome. Thank you so very much.
Thank you so much for having me.
Of course. For more in-depth retirement education, visit retirementplanninguniversity.com to sign up for classes happening in the DMV every month.